I'd like to talk to you today about the Janome HD3000BE. The HD3000BE, the BE stands for Black Edition, and Ken Sewing Center is just one of a handful of dealers selected to be able to carry this model. We're really excited to bring it to you because the HD3000 has been in the Janome line for several years. It's probably, without a doubt, one of the best-selling mechanical models Janome has ever offered because it's such a well-rounded model. But the thing about having this limited edition model, notice the black antique finish to it. You will get some bonuses that the standard HD3000 does not have. It's really an attractive machine. And we'll go into it and tell you all about it and sew on it and show you just everything that this machine can do. First thing I want to show you is just how easy that the machine is to thread. Everything is channeled right to the needle. There are thread guides conveniently spaced to help us thread the machine with ease. I do have the ability to sew with a twin needle with this machine, and the nice thing also about this machine, it has a built-in needle threader. The older I get, the more I appreciate that. And I have threaded my needle. I have a razor conveniently located on the left so I can trim that excess thread. And the bobbin case is just as easy. You do get the top drop-in bobbin on this machine with the clear cover. Has some seam measurements on it. And I can see how much bobbin thread that I have on the machine. Our bobbin cases are just like top-of-the-line machines. They have one place I really need to make sure I get the thread in and just pull it through. And now I've got my bobbin case threaded. The HD3000 has a lot of features on it for the price and what all that you're going to get. First of all, the HD stands for heavy duty, and you're going to be able to sew through thicker materials with this machine, even if you're not going to be handling a lot of heavy several ply denim or even garment grade leather. It's just going to put the machine under less stress and strain. The motor's going to last you longer, and you're not going to have the wrestling at the needle like you will with a lot of machines that have smaller motors. Also, if we'll notice here, we have extra high lift under the presser foot, so I can get those thicker materials right under the needle where I need to. I do have adjustable stitch width and stitch length on all of my sewing patterns. And we'll zoom in here in a little bit and I'll show you the different stitches that are built onto the machine. It does have the free arm built in, so I can slide my pant leg, shirt sleeve over the arm and be able to sew it. And we will have drop feed, so if you're into quilting, doing free motion stippling, or if you want to do free motion embroidery, just get you a free motion darning foot and you'll be able to do that. Or if you just need to darn over a hole, you're able to do that with ease with this machine. We'll have the reverse built in right here for our back tacking. So let's sew on the machine just a minute and we'll show you everything that it can do. The HD3000 is well built. You're going to have the larger motor, quality working parts on it. And I'm going to show you just kind of the heaviest that you'll probably ever be sewing. This here that I'm going to sew is 8-ply denim. That's about the side seam on a pair of blue jeans. Really, it's thicker than most side seams now that I'm noticing on blue jeans in department stores. But notice here I've got the extra high lift under my presser foot, so I can get that material up under. Quilters, you really will like this, and when you get to that side seam on the pant legs, you're going to be able to crawl up and over that with no problem. It's easy for me to dial my stitch because right here I have the stitch selector and the orange. I just get it where I want it. I'll adjust my stitch length and width to my desire, and then I've had the electronic foot control that'll come with it. The harder I push it, the faster the machine's going to go. And I'm going to show you from extreme heavy sewing to extremely lightweight. This is just a standard cotton. And then I want to show you this stretchy material that I'm going to sew on. The tension system on the machine is located right up here, and rarely will you ever have to adjust the tension on this machine, as I'm going to show you here. All I'll have to do is just continue to sew because tensions are not finicky on this machine at all. Notice how quiet the machine runs. Top drop-in bobbin is really nice because the likelihood of me jamming up is going to be reduced versus a front loading model. And I've went from extremely heavy to a standard cotton here. To a stretchy material with no problem at all, not adjusting any tensions whatsoever. On the HD3000BE, we have 18 of the most popular stitches that you're generally going to run into. Our garment sewers and quilters really like this machine because it's not too much built onto it. It's a really good machine for a beginner. But as we've noticed over time, we generally sew with just a few stitches. And these are what I call our meat and potato stitches. And we'll have a few decorative stitches. And we'll have the nice one-step buttonhole. The HD3000 comes with the special one-step buttonhole attachment. They will size that button every time to the button that I'm working with. You go from baby buttons to a standard coat button with this machine. If you had a button that was larger than what the attachment can do, we can easily manually do a buttonhole. Just put the machine on the zigzag and we can adjust that. And that's something we can talk you through over the phone and help you with. But on the machine, I will have the standard square end buttonhole. I will have some scallop decorative stitches, and these I can adjust the thickness and the width and the length. So if I need to elongate some of these stitches, I'm able to do that for embellishing. I will have some stretch blind hem and standard tack blind hems. I've got the elastic stitches built in. Of course, we will have the standby zigzag that you can use that stitch for a satin stitch just by manipulating the stitch length and stitch width. I do have straight stitch. I will have our straight stitch. And what this particular stitch right here does, it will sew 2 stitches forward and 1 in reverse. It's automatically back tacking that stitch for me. And I use that on a stretchy piece of material, whether it be a t-shirt or whatever, stretch area of a garment. Once I install that stitch into the garment on stretchy material and I pull on it, those stitches are not going to break. You have give within there. This here is our Rick Rack stitch. You'd have to buy a Rick Rack and sew it on by hand. This is built into the machine that I can use. You get a really bright colored embroidery thread or sewing thread and use that for decorative effect. It really is nice. You have the old-timey feather, or also called the briar stitch, that's built in for quilting. And then you also will have an overcasting stitch. So the machine just will have basically most stitches that you will be using on a daily basis. I want to talk to you just a minute about the accessories that you're going to get with the HD3000BE. We'll get the matching hardcover in the black, really sleek and nice antique finish to it. It's made to fit this particular model. The handle goes through the top so that I can protect my machine when I'm not using it. Then also you will get the quilting kit, and in the quilting kit we have the walking foot, we have the adjustable seam guide that's made to screw right into the plate, right by the needle plate, so I can measure off a seam allowance. Get the 1/4 inch foot, we'll get the quilt bar with this particular set, you get the open toe stippling foot, and we get the free motion stippling foot. So basically you got everything that you're going to need for quilting and garment sewing built into the machine. The machine comes standard with extra needles and bobbins. You'll get an ultra glide foot. You'll get the adjustable blind hem foot. You'll get a satin stitch foot. You'll get a zipper foot and overcasting foot. And we also at Ken Sewing, we carry all the accessories. We can help you select the correct accessories for your machine, and we can show you how to use those. If you'll notice on our website in the sewing machine feet section, we will have several videos on how to use the different pressure feet. So if you're doing a certain application and you want to know what foot do I need or how to use it, just feel free to call us. We'll be glad to go over those with you and help you find the right accessory that'll work with the machine. The Ken Sewing Center is an authorized dealer. Again, we are a handful of dealers that's been selected to carry this machine. So if you have any questions whatsoever, need us to compare this model to other models, do not hesitate to give us a call.